Welcome to KYC Media News. We bring you the greatest and most up-to-date news of the day, and we invite you to stay tuned.
Spain's Conservative Party wins. Israel is slowly fulfilling its promise to Ukraine. Antarctica by a Russian missile strike. A Russian rocket strike on the town of Antarctica in Mykolaiv Oblast has killed one individual, Ukraine's public telecaster covered June 19, referring to the Ukrainian military's Operational Command South. Russia sent off 2 rocket strikes at Odessa Oblast, yet Ukrainian enemy of air protections managed the 2 of them, the Ukrainian military's Operational Command South said in a Telegram post on June 20. The tactical says that the strike was planned to hit port framework, however struck a private home and harmed a few close-by structures. 2 individuals were harmed accordingly, and 1 was killed. Spain's Conservative Party wins. Spain's Moderate People's Party, PP, has gotten a flat-out larger part in provincial races in Andalusia, shutting out the extreme right Vox party. The PP is going by Juan Moreno, who has kept his administration of Andalusia's provincial government by getting 58 seats in its parliament, 3 a larger number than the 55 required for an outright greater part. That was up from only 26 seats won in 2018 when Moreno came to control through an alliance that finished over 30 years of socialist rule. The ordering triumph will guarantee that Moreno doesn't need to depend on Vox, which said it would uphold Moreno assuming that it is given a portion of the public authority. Moreno drove a right-focus alliance government for the past 4 years after traditional gatherings finished the socialists' 36-year hang on Andalusia. He was credited for running a fruitful mission on a moderate stage, which incorporated the safeguard of orientation fairness regulations. "We have left a mark on the world," Moreno told a huge group in Seville. "But I need to begin this new stage with modesty. Since we in the PP Andalusia have lost numerous decisions and are thoroughly prepared in tolerating results. With this prevailing success, we need to stay peaceful and humble in light of the fact that is our type of governmental issues." The socialists of Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez couldn't bounce back and slipped from 33 seats in 2018 to 30. In excess of 6 million individuals reserved the option to cast a ballot in the political decision, which the PP expectations will be a sign of what is to come in public races that should be held before the finish of 2023. Sanchez will be feeling the squeeze after his administration has battled to manage the effect of uncontrolled expansion that is taking steps to hose financial recuperation from the pandemic. The extreme left parties, relating to the United We Can party that is in an alliance with the socialists at the public level, won only 7 seats, contrasted in the 17 it had. It was the principal political race since Alberto Núñez Feijóo stepped in as the PP's forerunner in April after his ancestor was eliminated following a monstrous public altercation with another party heavyweight, the candid and confrontational Isabel Díaz Ayuso, the local head of Madrid. Feijóo's political way of projecting a quiet, yet serious persona zeroed in on great administration networks well with Moreno. Vox had expected to turn into a predominant power in the locale where it won its most memorable portrayal in an official body, however it could build its 12 seats from 2018 to 14 at this point. Vox entered a provincial government interestingly recently after the PP required it to stay in control in Castilla y León. The middle-right Citizens Party, which had been the lesser individual from Moreno's administration, proceeded with its death as a political power in Spain in the wake of neglecting to win a solitary seat 4 years subsequent to snatching 21. Israel is slowly fulfilling its promise to Ukraine. The Ukrainian embassy to the State of Israel focuses to the defer and true Jerusalem in giving the guaranteed clinical consideration to Ukrainian servicemen who were injured during the Russian hostility. The pertinent comment, joined by a photograph of an injured Ukrainian serviceman, was posted on the embassy's Facebook page. Numerous Ukrainians have lost body parts because of Russian assaults. Israel is a main country in prosthetics. We are hanging tight for the Israeli government to at last make the fundamental compassionate stride and help Delilah, envisioned, and numerous different Ukrainians recapture their capacity to move. There are no real reasons for the steady defers in giving this compassionate guide, the distribution said. As it known, On May 2, Israeli Health Minister Nitzan Horowitz, during a gathering with Ukrainian Ambassador to Israel Yevhen Kornishuk, declared the portion of shares for the treatment of injured Ukrainian servicemen in Israeli clinics. Nonetheless, after this proclamation, Israel didn't begin conceding Ukrainians for treatment and prosthetics. Antarctica's is melting at the fastest rate. With the possibility to raise worldwide ocean levels, Antarctica's Thwaites Glacier has been broadly nicknamed the Judgment Day Glacier. Presently, a review has uncovered exactly the way that rapidly the colossal ice sheet is liquefying, and cautions it could prompt a worldwide ocean level ascent of up to 11 feet, 3.4 meters, throughout the following a few centuries. Specialists from the University of Maine and the British Antarctic Survey have estimated the pace of neighborhood ocean level change, which is a circuitous method for estimating ice misfortune. Their estimations recommend that the icy mass is withdrawing at a rate not found over the most recent 5,500 years. Albeit these weak icy masses were moderately steady during the beyond couple of centuries, their ebb and flow pace of retreat is speeding up and right now raising worldwide ocean level, said Dr. Dylan Root of Imperial's Department of Earth Science and Engineering, who co-created the review. The West Antarctic Ice Sheet, WAIS, is home to the Thwaites and Pine Island icy masses, and has been diminishing throughout the course of recent a very long time in the midst of climbing worldwide temperatures. The Thwaites glacial mass presently gauges 74,131 square miles, 192,000 square kilometers, around a similar size as Great Britain. In the meantime, at 62,662 square miles, 162,300 square kilometers, the Pine Island ice sheet is around a similar size as Florida. Together, the pair can possibly cause gigantic ascents in worldwide ocean level as they dissolve. In their new review, the group set off to quantify exactly the way that quick the ice has been diminishing across these two ice sheets since the mid-Holocene, over a long time back. The group analyzed shells and penguin bones on Antarctic seashores, utilizing radiocarbon dating to gauge how long they have sat above ocean level. At the point when ice sheets sit ashore, they push down on Earth's surface. In any case, when they dissolve, the land returns quickly, so what used to be an ocean side is presently higher than ocean level. This makes sense of why nearby ocean level for this land fell, while worldwide the water from the liquefying ice caused worldwide ocean levels to rise. China and Russia is more likely to be than ever before. Last week's call between Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping was planned to correspond with the last birthday, yet additionally to communicate something specific. By reaffirming Beijing's help for Moscow even as the Russian military is devastating to a wide area of Ukraine, the Russian and Chinese presidents were indicating toward the West that their countries' recently fashioned vital arrangement will persevere. This close collusion between two absolutist behemoths gives the West its most noteworthy international test since the finish of the Cold War. Discovering an acceptable method for splitting it up, as U.S. President Richard Nixon dealt with his effort to Mao Zedong a long time back, would appear to be a conspicuous need. Tragically, the circumstances for such a trick don't exist today as they did then. 10 years before Nixon's stunning visit to Beijing, a conflict of characters and philosophical dreams among Mao and Soviet pioneer Nikita Khrushchev had proactively laid the foundation for the disintegration of their union. Abroad, Khrushchev looked for quiet concurrence with the West while Mao upheld conflict. Locally, Khrushchev started the course of de-Stalinization. Mao saw him as a powerless need revisionist who was double-crossing genuine socialist goals. Conversely, Putin and Xi, who have met each other multiple times starting around 2013, are allegedly dear companions. They share comparable patriot values and a significant hatred westward. Each tries to lay out a range of prominence in his country's international area and considers the U.S. to be the essential impediment to his vision of public significance. As far as public interest, Russia and China are more firmly adjusted today than any time since the finish of the Cold War. Their relationship started as a marriage of comfort. Every nation saw strategic advantages from great ties despite the fact that they needed profound key trust. As of late, be that as it may, as their relations with the U.S. drove west have turned progressively threatening, the matching has developed into a marriage of need. Just close essential arrangement can diminish their common weakness. There are, obviously, a few situations under which the new Beijing-Moscow pivot may yet disintegrate. Most clearly, a shift in power Russia would destroy the philosophical and vital underpinnings of the Sino-Russian arrangement. This could occur assuming Putin tumbles from power and a majority rule system gets back to Russia. However, Western pioneers would be hasty to wager on such a result. Relations could likewise accrete if Putin, similar to Mao in the mid-1960s, were to become disappointed with China since Tsai, similar to Khrushchev, decided to remember the big picture and safeguard China's monetary binds with the West as opposed to offer limitless help to Russia. However, that being said, Russia would have no place to turn as long as it stayed disengaged by the United States and Europe. Something from China is still better than a kick in the pants than nothing from the West.